Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am discussing important previous year questions of the skeletal system, frog and rabbit. This is and it's also regarding the mammals, whatever is generally asked in your previously NEET examination, right? Now say objective skeletal system. The zygomatic arc in skull of rabbit or dog is made up of three bones which are zugal and squamosal, pterygoid and squamosal, periotic, zugal and the process of maxilla, zugal and process of maxilla and squamosal. Correct option is fourth, zugal and process of maxilla and squamosal. Long neck of camel is due to increase in number of neck vertebra, increase in the length of neck vertebra, development of extra bony plates between successive neck vertebrae, development of muscular pads between successive neck vertebrae. It is increase in the length of the neck vertebra. Increase in length of the neck vertebra. Skeleton of aquatic animals can be less bulky and less strong than those of land animals because of buoyancy of water, pressure of water, large size of land animals, presence of limbs in land animals. Correct option is pressure of water. Ends of long bones are covered with muscles, cartilage, ligaments, blood cell. Correct option cartilage. Ischium in rabbit is a bone situated on posterior dorsal side of ilium. How many parts of an acetabulum it forms? 1/4, 1/3, half, 2/3. Correct option 1/3. Joints between human skull bones are immovable and fibrous, imperfect, gliding, saddle, hinge. Immovable and fibrous, right? Now the next one, sternum parts of first 7 ribs of rabbits are connected with vertebral column, pectoral girdle, diaphragm, sternum. Correct option is sternum. Anglosplenial is a structure in heart of frog, bone in lower jaw of frog, a part of pectoral girdle, a portion of splena, a bone in lower jaw of frog. Which of the following is a paired bone in frog? Septomaxillary, parasyphenoid, sphenoid, xyphistrum. Correct option is septomaxillary. A chromian process is found in the rabbit in femur, pectoral girdle, vertebral column, pelvic girdle. It is pectoral girdle. Olecranon process in rabbits is a part of ulna forming the elbow, zygomatic arc of skull, axis vertebra projecting into atlas, dentary fitting into skull. Correct option, ulna forming the elbow. Which one has both an endoskeleton and exoskeleton? Frog, cockroach, earthworm, snake. That is snake. Structure indicating true segmentation in rabbit: hairs, 2 pairs of limbs, vertebrae and ribs, paired nostrils and ears and eyes. Correct option, vertebrae and ribs. Vertebrae of frog are generally procellus except 8th, 9th, 8th and 9th, 9th and 10th. It is 8th and 9th. Sigmoid notch in rabbit skeleton is in ulna, radius, fibula, tibia, humerus. Correct, sigmoid node is ulna. In rabbit, obturator foramen is present in skull, vertebra, pelvic girdle, brain. It is in pelvic girdle. Joint of femur with pelvic girdle is pivotal, ball and socket joint, hinge, saddle. It is ball and socket joint. Total number of bones in right arm of man is 28, 30, 32, 34. It is 30. Xiphoid, xiphoid, xiphoid cartilage and xyphisternum are parts of pelvic girdle, pectoral girdle, sternum, skull. It is sternum. Foramen magnum is found at base of the skull, apex of the vertebral column, base of brain, base of medulla. It is the base of skull. Lower jaw of frog includes dentary, anglospinal, Meckel's cartilage, dentary and angiosplenial, and mentomaclean, dentary, anglospinal, Meckel's cartilage. Fourth one is right. Pelvic girdle of rabbit is distinguished from that of frog by presence of obturator foramen, olecranon fossa, sigmoid notch, foramen magnum. Correct option is obturator foramen. Centrum in 8th vertebra of frog is acillus, amphicillus, procellus, opisthocoelus. It is amphicillus. The skull opens behind a wide gap at which the brain joins the spinal cord. This gap is foramen magnum, foramen of Monro, foramen magnum, obturator foramen. It is foramen magnum. The next one is, in which vertebra of frog the centrum is acialless? Eighth, ninth, fifth, seventh. It is in the ninth vertebra. Number of skeletal elements in lower jaw of frog is 6, 3, 4, 8. 8 is the correct option. The centrum of a typical vertebra of frog is procellus, aciallus, amphicellus, amphiphylatein. It is procellus. Odontoid process in rabbit is found in radio ulna, axis vertebra, humerus, femur. It is in axis vertebra. Articulation of ulna humerus at the elbow joint is hinge, ball and socket, gliding, pivot. It is hinge joint. Which bone of mammal does not serve the usual function of providing support and protection to soft body part? Ribs, atlas, stapes or malleus, scapula. It is stapes or malleus. Exoskeleton of rabbit comprises hair, hairs, claws, hairs, hooves, hair, nails, hair, hoof, claws. Correct option, hair and claws. Number of cervical vertebrae in rabbit, camel and most other mammals is 5, 6, 7, 11. Correct option is 7. A good example of hinge joint in mammalian skeleton is the one found between femur and pelvic girdle, atlas vertebra and skull, lower jaw and skull, ulna and humerus. It is ulna and humerus. Greater Greater trochanter is a part of humerus of rabbit, antenna of cockroach, femur of rabbit, pelvic of girdle. It is femur of rabbit. In locomotion, movement between two structures of which one of the following sets takes part in man: femur and pelvic girdle, humerus and pectoral girdle, skull and atlas, humerus and ulna. Correct option is femur and pelvic girdle. Axis vertebra of rabbits differs from atlas vertebra in absence of centrum, presence of neural arc, presence of odontoid process, presence of neural canal. It is presence of odontoid process. Sternum of rabbit consists of xiphisternum and xiphoid cartilage. 4 vertebra is xiphisternum and xiphoid cartilage. 6 sternibri is xiphisternum and xiphoid cartilage. 6 sternibri and xiphoid. Correct option is 3. 6 sternibri is xiphisternum and xiphoid cartilage. Cervical vertebra of mammals can be identified from other types of vertebra on the basis of presence of odontoid process, absence of transverse process, amphiphylatein centra, presence of vertebratial canal. It is the presence of vertebratial canal. Bones of which pair are not corresponding bones? Humerus, femur, hip girdle, shoulder girdle, atlas, malleus, carpals and tarsals. Correct option is atlas and malleus. Lower jaw of mammals is composed of dentary only, dentary and malleus, jugal only, dentary, jugal and web. Correct option is dentary only. The term innominate is used for a bone and an artery, a bone and a vein, a bone and a nerve, a vein and a nerve. It is a bone and an artery. 3 bones that constitute the pelvic girdle of rabbit: pubis, acetabulum, ischium, ilium, ischium, sacrum, ilium, ischium, pubis, ischium, pubis, coccyx. It is ilium, ischium, pubis. Which one is an unpaired bone in frog's skull? Pterygoid, prootic, maxilla, sphenthmoid or parasphenoid? It is sphenthmoid or parasphenoid. Which part of mammalian body has a single pair of bone? Ear pinna, pelvic girdle, lower jaw, wrist. It is the lower jaw. Smallest bone in rabbit's body is patella, stapes, atlas, floating rib. Correct option is stapes. Paired bones on ventral side or skull of frog are nasal and sphenthmoid, squamosal and wormous, pterygoid and palatines, parasphenoid and prootic. Correct option is pterygoid and plantains. Vertebra in which centrum is concave at both ends: ninth of frog, eighth of frog, cervical of rabbit, typical of frog. It is the eighth of frog. In frog, Y-shaped bone is squamosal, palatine, quadratozugal, pterygoid. It is pterygoid. Skull of frog and rabbit and other mammals is monocondylic, dicondylic, tricondylic. No, it is dicondylic. Vertebral column of frog terminates in coccyx, sacrum, urostyle, ninth vertebra. It is the urostyle. Radio ulna is characterized by the presence of Cranial crest, olecranian fossa, trochanter, sigmoid knot. It is sigmoid knot. Bone formed by ossification in a tendon is called membrane bone, sesamoid bone, dermal bone, cartilage bone. It is the sesamoid bone. Main bone of mammalian pectoral girdle is ilium, coracoid, pubis, scapula. It is scapula. The centrum of a vertebra, which is concave at both ends, is said to be acillus, opisthocoelus, amphicoelus, procoelus. It is amphicoelus. Number of vertebrae in man is 30, 31, 32, 33. It is 33. In rabbit, the two halves of pelvic girdle form a W-shaped girdle by the fusion of two ilia, pubis bone, ischia, choroid. It is the pubis bone. Glenoid cavity is found in pelvic girdle, skull, pectoral girdle, radio ulna. It is the pectoral girdle. Humerus differs from femur, having a spine, deltoid ridge, glenoid cavity, sigmoid knot. It is the deltoid ridge. Centrum of mammalian vertebra is amphicoelus, acoelus, procoelus, heterocoelus. It is acoelus. Scapular bone is a part of cranium, pelvic girdle, pectoral girdle, vertebral girdle. It is pectoral girdle. Exoskeleton is not found in reptiles, frog, birds, mammals. It is in frogs. Which one of these in frogs is toothless? Vomer, maxilla, upper jaw, lower jaw. It is lower jaw. Skull of frog consists of cranium and sense capsules and jaws. Cranium, sense capsules and jaws. Cranium and jaws. It is the cranium, sense capsules and jaws. Digital formula of forelimb in frog is 02233 0233 22333 0233. Correct option is for 02233. Pterygoid is the name of a cartilage bone, membrane bone, long bone. It is the membrane bone. It deltoid its characteristics characterizes humerus, femur, radius, ulna. It is the humerus. Lower jaw of frog articulates with skull by means of pterygoid, squamosal, quadrate cartilage, quadratozugal. It is quadrate cartilage. Roof of cranium of frog is formed by alisphenoid, frontoparietal, parasphenoid, orbitosphenoid. It is frontoparietal. Acetabulum in frogs is a cavity found in pelvic girdle where three bones are articulated together, pectoral girdle into which fits the head of humerus, brain, and interconnects lateral ventricles with third ventricle, atlas vertebra into which fits the corresponding occipital contents of the skull. First one, pelvic girdle where three bones are articulated together. Obturator foramen in a pelvic girdle of rabbit is pubis and ilium, ilium, ischium, pubis, ischium and pubis, ilium and ischium. It is ischium and pubis. Bones of wrists are called metacarpals, metatarsals, carpals, tarsal. They are called carpals. Ribs of rabbit protect stomach, lungs and heart. Lungs only, heart only. It is lungs and heart. An obturator foramen is found between ischium and pubis bones of pelvic girdle, rabbit, frog, cockroach, all of these. It is in the rabbit. Lower jaw of toothless is in rabbit, cockroach, frog, none of these. It is in frog. Function of long bones in mammals is to provide support and to produce RBCs and WBCs. Support and to produce RBCs only. Support and to produce WBCs. First portion, support and to produce RBCs and WBCs. Cervical vertebrae in camel are more than in rabbit, less than in giraffe, as many as in whale, twice than in horse. It is as many as in whale. If vertebrae are symbolized as C cervical, T thoracic, L lumbar, S sacral, and C caudal or coccygeal, the vertebral formula for the rabbit will be C3 T12 L7 S3 CY15 or C7 T12 L5 S5 CY12 or C7 T12 L7 S4 CY16 C7 T13 L6 S4 CY. Correct option is 3. Ilium, ischium, and pubis meet at one point in the rabbit to form os innominatum, acetabulum, obturator foramen, pubic symphysis. Correct option is acetabulum. Lower jaw of rabbit articulates with the jugal, alisphenoid, squamosal, parietal. It is squamosal. The main adaptation in rabbit for its peculiar locomotion is fused trachal region, reduced fibula, abnormal number of carpus, elongated astragalus, and calcaneum. It is elongated astragalus and calcaneum. Which one is component part of a pectoral girdle Sternum, glenoid cavity, acetabulum, ilium. It is glenoid cavity. The strongest part of endoskeleton that bears the pressure of landing after a leap in frog or rabbit, femur, pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, heel bone. It is pectoral girdle. The bone that houses the brain in frog, parasphenoid, frontoparietal, occipital, sphenthemoid. It is sphenthemoid. All membrane bones of skull are included in dermatocranium, chondrocranium, endocranium, sphygmocranium. Correct option dermatocranium. Which one of the skull of rabbit has depression known as salatorica, parietal, basisphenoid, alisphenoid? None of the. It is basisphenoid. In frog's skull, the T-shaped, hammer-shaped, and Y-shaped bones respectively are palatine, pterygoid, parasphenoid, squamosal, parasphenoid, palatine, parasphenoid, squamosal, frontal, parasphenoid, squamosal. It is fourth option, parasphenoid, squamosal, and pterygoid. Greater truncator, lesser truncator, and third truncator in rabbit skeletons are found in pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, humerus, femur. It is in femur. Ankle of rabbit is formed of bones arranged in three rows. The first row consists of astragalus and calcaneum, a single bone called central, a three cuneiform bones, cuboid and navicular. The first option, astragalus and calcaneum. How many ribs in rabbits are connected with the breastbone on each jaw? 9, 6, 12, 7. Correct option is 7. Number of floating ribs in human body is 3 pairs, 6 pair, 5 pairs, 2 pair. Number of floating ribs in the human body is 2 pairs. Vertebrae in which vertebratal canal is found: thoracic, cervical, lumbar, caudal. It is cervical. Bone which connects tibia to the ankle: navicular, cuboid, astragalus, central. It is astragalus. The joint of radio ulna with the upper arm is ball and socket joint, hinge joint, pivot joint. It is the hinge joint. I hope everything is clear. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me in the comment section. Again, we will meet in the next video with more important previous year questions.